In this video, we're going to take a deep dive into the button element of our new website builder. The button element is one of the most used elements, and it's a great call to action tool to guide your visitors. Let's get started. I want to add two buttons to my homepage, one to direct my visitors to the registration page and one to the About page. Let's start by adding a button element to this section. For this, we open the Elements menu and click and drag the button element. Once you let go of the click, the button will appear on the location you dropped it. I will add another button element next to this one. To make sure they're next to each other, I look for the shorter blue line next to the first one and drop the second button there. Both of these buttons are aligned to the left and look far apart. I want them to be placed together in the middle of my screen. For this, I will align both of the buttons to be on the center by clicking the center alignment icon. This puts the button in the center of its container. To make the buttons go closer, I will add a spacer element on the left and right of the buttons. Next, I will change the text on my buttons. To do this, I click on the settings wheel in the toolbar. Here, I can easily change the text by typing. For buttons, it's good to have an action text of 2 to 3 words maximum. I can change the styling of the buttons under the Style tab. Let's say I want the second button to only have an outline. To do this, I click on the Style tab, go to Shape, and select the outlined pill. As you can see, this created a distinction between my buttons. A quick tip about call to action buttons is to have a primary and a secondary button. If you only have one button, this doesn't matter as much. However, if you want to add multiple buttons to a page, it's good to make one of them bolder than the others. This helps visitors to quickly spot the main action you want them to take, like registering, while still offering secondary information without distracting from the goal. I also would like to change the blue to be lighter for the second button. To change the color of the buttons, I click on the button color and choose a color. If I do this on a specific button, I will only change the color of that particular button. However, if I want to change the color of all the buttons on my website, then I need to go to the Styling tab. Let's say I want the default color for buttons to be orange. To do this, I go to the Styling tab and change the button color. This will make all my buttons on the website have an orange color. As you can see, the button on the left has changed, but the button on the right has not. That's because I changed the color of that specific button to light blue. If I now go to this button's style, click on button color, I see a Restore Default action. Once I click that, this button will revert to the default settings I set under the Styling tab. When you're changing your button colors, keep this in mind to have a consistent and professional look. Under the Style tab on the button, I can also change the text color, the text font, shape, and size of the buttons. I can do this for individual buttons, or I can do this for all my buttons with the Styling tab. Now that I'm happy with how my buttons look, I will add the action to the buttons. When I click this icon, I will see the hyperlink model. I can put a link to an external website, I can upload a PDF for visitors to download, I can even add a phone number or an email. For now, we will make these buttons go to a page on my website. For the Register Now button, I will link the Register page. And for the Learn More button, I will link the About page. Next to that is the translation option. I have this visible because I added Dutch as a second language to my event in the general settings. This allows me to translate all my content to Dutch immediately after adding it. That way, it doesn't take me a lot of time to translate my event. Here, I click on this icon and the translation model pops up. To translate, I can either type it out myself or click this icon to see the suggestions. If I like one of the suggestions, I can accept that as the translation. If you would like to delete a button, you can do that by clicking the trash can icon. Please remember that if you delete an element, you won't be able to get it back. So make sure that you really want to delete it. This is all there is to know about the button element. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you are now fully acquainted with the button and its possibilities.